traveled to Fort Gordon, the U.S. Army base in Augusta. And the goal of the tour is for the U.S. Army to reach out to educators within various communities to educate them about the U.S. Army, careers available for enlisted officers, and just to enlighten and educate educators about the U.S. Army so that they can reach their recruiting goals. And that was the purpose of the tour. My experience was coming out of high school and going into the Marine Corps Reserves to help pay for college. So I was somewhat familiar with the military and the Marine Corps and the GI Bill, so many different versions of the GI Bill, so that helped me while I was, in college. The tour started Monday a.m. I did drive to Jacksonville, and we left Jacksonville to go to Augusta and return Thursday night. I had never been to Fort Gordon. I heard of Fort Gordon in Augusta, so it was a good trip, and I learned a lot about the base because it was on the closure list a few years ago, and the community really rallied behind the base, and where they created the Fort Gordon campaign. That was an official name of it, but that's what they were doing. And it saved Fort Gordon, and also now Fort Gordon is poised to become the cybersecurity headquarters of the U.S. Army in 2020. We toured the base, and we met with soldiers who were training in cybersecurity. And we learned about the different jobs, or I call them MOS, the military terminology, the different MOS relating to cybersecurity. Also, we were able to see vehicles, communications and how they work, and when the soldiers are deployed, different communications. We also toured the Signal Museum, which is headquarters there, the signals, and just learned a lot of history. Got to fire the M16 and the M4 through a simulator. There was also an exercise where you can crawl in the Humvee and it'll turn over. Inside the Humvee, it was a controlled environment. We were able to tour the barracks. We saw a military dog demonstration, how the dogs are trained and working with handlers, just living a life of a soldier. So we had lunch with them. We were able to ask questions about maybe how did they decide to come into the Army, what was their route, what did they like about it. We also learned a lot of advantages as it relates to college. The recruiting battalion, they do focus on enlisted of students coming from high school. So some of the educators were from high schools, some from community colleges, so just different levels of educators. So teaching the educators for high school students how the Army or any other military branch is a viable option. Soldiers can go in and earn GI benefits to pay for college, and the education is highly encouraged for the soldiers to go to college. Just thinking about students here from TU, if they graduate with a bachelor's degree, usually we route them, or you would want them to go in as an officer. But if they go in enlisted, then they're able to accrue money to repay student loan debt. Just a lot of opportunities for students who may want to go into the military, the Army, and they have not necessarily 4-year contracts, they have 3-year contracts, and some even 2-year contracts.